why you become a different person around certain people. There are people who make you louder, people who make you quieter, people who make you funnier, more careful, more confident, more awkward. And then there are people around whom you act so differently. You barely recognize yourself. Maybe with one friend, you never stop talking. With another, you become strangely quiet. Around your family, you might suddenly feel 16 again. And around certain people, you become a version of yourself you don't particularly like. So which one is the real you? The confident one? The quiet one? The funny one? The careful one? Here's the strange part, maybe all of them are. Because your personality does not appear in isolation. It appears in relationship. Different people create different emotional environments around you, and your mind responds to those environments, sometimes by opening, sometimes by shrinking, sometimes by performing, sometimes by protecting itself, which means the version of you that appears around someone may be telling you something important, not just about who you are, but about what you feel around them. Think about the people you feel completely comfortable with. You probably don't spend much time deciding how to sit, how much to talk, whether you're being interesting enough. You simply exist. The conversation moves. Your body relaxes. You say things before rehearsing them. Silence doesn't feel dangerous. You don't need to constantly monitor whether you are being received correctly. And that freedom changes you. You may become more playful, more spontaneous, more honest, more affectionate, not because that particular person created a new personality inside you, but because something in that relationship gave certain parts of you permission to come forward. Now think about someone who makes you feel evaluated. Maybe they are critical, hard to read, important to impress, emotionally unpredictable. Or maybe they have never actually done anything wrong, but their opinion simply matters to you. Suddenly, your attention changes. You begin monitoring yourself. Was that stupid? Am I talking too much? Maybe I should just agree. And now you are no longer only participating in the interaction, you are also managing yourself inside it. That can create a very different version of you, quieter, safer, more agreeable, more polished, or strangely unlike yourself. And this is where people sometimes become afraid that they are fake. They think, if I behave differently around different people, which version is actually me? But human beings have never had one fixed social setting. You speak differently to a child than to your boss. That flexibility is not automatically dishonesty. It is part of being social. The more interesting question is, what determines which parts of you appear? Sometimes the answer is simple: context, history, shared humor, familiarity. But sometimes the pattern goes deeper. Certain people may activate old roles. Around your family, you may become the responsible one again, or the quiet one, the difficult one, the peacekeeper. Even if you have changed dramatically outside that family, you can build an entire adult life and still walk into one familiar room and feel an older version of yourself return. Not because you secretly never grew up, but because relationships carry memory. People do not only remind us of events, they can remind our nervous systems of roles. Who you were allowed to be, what got attention, what created conflict. And sometimes your behavior begins adjusting before you consciously realize why. This is also why one person can make you feel unusually confident. Maybe they respond warmly when you speak. They don't punish awkwardness. They don't make every mistake feel important. You feel understood rather than inspected, so you take more risks, you talk more, you become funnier, you reveal opinions you usually keep private, and later you may think, I like who I am around them. That sentence is more interesting than it sounds, because perhaps what you are really saying is, I like who I am when I don't feel like I have to protect myself. And the opposite can also be true. Sometimes you dislike who you become around someone. Maybe you become defensive, competitive, needy, or overly agreeable. It can be tempting to blame yourself immediately. Why am I like this? Why can't I just act normal? But sometimes that version of you is information. It may be responding to something in the relationship. Uncertainty, old resentment, fear of rejection, or simply the feeling that there is very little room to be imperfect. That does not mean every uncomfortable relationship is toxic, and it does not mean every change in your personality has a deep psychological cause. But patterns are worth noticing, especially when the same version of you keeps appearing around the same kind of person. Maybe you become extremely agreeable around authority. Maybe you become quiet around people you desperately want to impress. Those patterns can reveal the strategies you use when connection feels uncertain. And this is where the question changes. Instead of asking, which version of me is real? You can ask, what brings each version of me out? What makes you expand? What makes you shrink? Who makes you feel like you have to perform? Who makes you feel like silence is safe? Because authenticity may not mean behaving exactly the same way with everyone. That would be impossible. Maybe authenticity means something closer to this. You are able to adapt without abandoning yourself. You can be quieter without becoming invisible, kind without becoming agreeable to everything, funny without using humor to hide every uncomfortable feeling, professional without becoming unrecognizable. Different relationships can bring out different sides of you, without every side being equally healthy for you. And sometimes the people you feel most yourself around are not the ones who know the most facts about you. They are the people around whom you need the least editing. You don't have to constantly translate yourself. You don't have to decide which parts are acceptable. You don't have to predict every reaction before you speak. You have room. And maybe that is why certain people seem to bring out the real you. Not because they discovered some hidden personality no one else could see, but because around them, you stopped working so hard to manage which version of you was allowed to exist. So if you notice yourself becoming completely different around someone, don't immediately ask, "What is wrong with me?" Ask something more useful. What does this relationship bring out in me? Does it make you more open, more guarded, more anxious? Because the answer may tell you something about the relationship and something about yourself. You are not one fixed personality moving unchanged through every room. You are a person responding to different levels of safety, history, expectation, and connection. All of those versions may belong to you, but they are not meaningless. Each one is giving you information about what you need, what you fear, what you protect, and where you feel free enough to stop performing. So, who brings out the version of you that feels most like yourself? Until next time, keep shifting your perspective. Subscribe for more Mind Shift.